Happy June, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tyler, and this is Tyler Reads Books. And in this video, I am going to talk about the 3 books that are on my TBR for the month of June and share about those. And afterwards, I'm going to talk about the books I read last month and what some of my general thoughts were coming out of the month of May. And so I'm reading 3 books this month. One of them is a carryover from last month. I was pretty ambitious last month. I read 4 books, but I'm carrying over A Parade of Horribles by Matt Dinniman. I am really excited to finish up this story. I'm about a fourth of the way through it, and I'm already loving just this style of dungeon crawler book where not as big of stakes going on in the world like this Inevitable Ruin was. So excited for that. Also love the idea of the racing, and I know there's going to be some big consequences coming up, some things going on in the world around Carl and Donut. But I am excited to keep reading that. Matt continues to write great dungeon crawler Carl books, and so I'm excited to read that. The next book up, I'm very excited. I don't think I'm emotionally prepared for it, but it is Fury of the Gods by John Gwynne. This is the 3rd book in the Bloodsworn saga, so I will be completing that trilogy this month in June, and so I'm really excited for that. I don't know if I'm emotionally prepared for what our characters are going to face for the inevitable war that they are walking into with the culmination of the last 2 books. But I am excited to read another John Gwynne book. He's becoming one of my favorite authors, and excited to see how these stories conclude and to find out the fate of some of the characters that their stories were kind of left hanging and unsure of what was next for them. So excited to finish that up and to finish that trilogy off for this year. And then finally, I am going to read the book that was voted on by my subscribers on my channel. And so thank you everybody for voting. We had 4 different sci-fi books up on the channel for the vote, and the clear front winner was Hyperion by Dan Simmons. And just last week I made 40 books that I want to read before I turn 40, and this is one of the books on the list. And so I'm really excited that it won, excited to read some classic sci-fi and to let you know my thoughts on this. But I'm really excited for this month because all 3 of these books I believe have the potential to be 5-star reads for me. And so it's exciting to have a really big month like this. The month of May, I read 4 books. 2 of them you could technically probably call novellas, but I'm going to call them books. So I finished this Inevitable Ruin by Matt Dinniman. Really great, different than I expected it to be. Gave it 4.5 stars. Enjoyed the story, and it had my favorite moment of any of the Dungeon Crawler Carl books up to that point. And so when you're 7 books into a series and you are reading your favorite moment in the whole series, then something's going really well in what the author's doing and how that story's progressing. So really enjoyed this Inevitable Ruin. Then I read Piranesi by Susanna Clarke, and it was not what I expected. To say the least, I made a video reviewing it on the channel. I'll put the link to that here in this video description. But overall, I gave it 2.5 stars, and as I am further removed from that story, I think I'm pretty confident on my rating of it. I know a ton of people love it, and it might be a great book for you, but I just did not like the twist, did not enjoy some of the overarching themes of the story. And so for me, 2.5 star read, but it was fine. And then I also read 9 Goblins, and that was just a fun, whimsical, fun book talking about these goblins. And it was only about 150 pages. And so it just followed these couple different goblins around, and also had some really interesting ideas, especially around the wizards that are in this world and how you become a wizard. And so I don't want to give anything away if you're going to pick it up, but I would recommend it. I think it's just a fun, easy read to pick up between some of the thicker books, maybe on your TBR. And then I also read the 2nd book in the Murderbot Diaries. I I think I liked this one more than the first one. All System Red was fine. It was good, but I think I liked this one just a little more. There's some really interesting dynamics between Murderbot and another AI and how they're communicating with each other. And I thought that the setting of the second book was more interesting and intriguing than the isolated planet that they were on in the first one. I think if I was to compare those books to other forms of media that I've seen, like I would compare the first book in the Murderbot Diaries to Lost in Space, especially the newest version of that on Netflix. It had a lot of that vibe in it. And then the second book probably leans more into like source material wise of like iRobot. Felt a little more of that with like being in a pretty congested area of people and having to blend in and having to hide away for different reasons. And so it was interesting. I was a little frustrated with a story choice she made. There's something that Murderbot goes to this ring to find out, and that's why he's on this specific mission helping these people, so that he has an excuse to get to this area to find out something about his past, and you don't really end up finding out anything. And it moves the story forward, but it's a little frustrating that it's kind of left open-ended and ambiguous on what actually happened to Murderbot in his past and what he's trying to discover. So that was a little frustrating, but overall, good month of reading for the month of May, and extremely excited for what is ahead for me in the month of June. What are you reading this month? What's on the June TBR, and what did you read last month? Maybe what was your favorite read of last month, and what are you looking forward to picking up this month? I hope you have an amazing first week of June, an amazing week of reading, and I can't wait to let you more about these books that are on the plan, the TBR for the month of June.